With Rob Lewis, Jesse Simonton, VolQuest.com. Recapping Tennessee's win over UAB, meeting with Jeremy Pruitt on this Monday morning. Rob, not a whole lot of interesting comments from the Tennessee's head coach today. Pretty salty about his offense's performance against the Blazers in a 30-7 win where the offensive line struggled. Jarrett Garantano had a bad turnover, and he wasn't exactly really impressed with what he got out of the tight ends, wide receivers, or J.T. Shrout.
Yeah, and his opening comments, it didn't take him long to touch on too many negative plays, too many lost one-on-one battles up front on the offensive line, and still pretty apparent that Garantano's interception in the red zone right before halftime was still sticking in his craw.
16 runs on Saturday, had in my review piece that went for 1 yard or less. That was almost close to more than 50% of their total runs, which is just not going to cut it against a Kentucky team, Rob, that Jeremy was pretty, had a decent amount of praise for. Obviously, they're probably going to start a wide receiver at quarterback in Lynn Bowden. He had a lot of success against Missouri 2 weeks ago. Wildcats coming off a bye, and clearly Pruitt is impressed with what Mark Stoops has done defensively and their special teams.
Yeah, it was obvious he had a lot of respect for Stoops, and I think a good deal of that comes from, as he mentioned, he followed him up as a defensive coordinator at Florida State, so saw his fingerprints on a lot of things from recruiting to work habits and how kids just reacted to being coached. And the wide receiver comment, I think the fact that Kentucky is coming off a bye this week with the new kid at quarterback, that gives them a chance to really put some wrinkles in and give Tennessee some things to think about.
Don't get it thrown over our heads. I think that's what Pruitt said. Had to obviously still maintain the edges, win the line of scrimmage. But for Tennessee's quarterback situation, Rob, not a lot of clarity there. Says all three guys are available. I asked him, will Brian Maurer get more reps in practice this week? Because that's something that Jeremy had at least hinted about on Saturday post-game. He said Maurer was fully available on all last week and ready to play, and yet Tennessee did not opt to go that way. It certainly seems like, in my opinion, though, that's the way they're going to go, 18 with 2 kind of being that 6-man shooter again.
Yeah, I mean, if Maurer truly is available, and there's no reason for Jeremy to say he is, if that's not the case, then I'd have a hard time believing that he's not going to get on the field this week in a meaningful role in a game of this magnitude.
We'll see. This is one that Tennessee needs to win. They face a similar scenario as they did a year ago, where they have 3 games to win 2 games to get to bowl eligibility. Starts this weekend in Lexington, 7:30 p.m. kick on SEC Network. We'll have full coverage throughout the week at VolQuest.com, so come check us out. For Rob Lewis, Jesse Simonton, VolQuest.com.